Hi everyone, welcome to Spiritual Growth Tarot, or welcome back. Thank you, and I welcome all my new subscribers. Thank you so much for being here with me. Um, this reading is devoted to Rush Limbaugh, but it's going to be a different type of karmic reading in that, of course, he's already crossed over. So I'll talk you through it as I go. I've devised a spread for people who have crossed over. So we could use it, I guess, for anyone else too. Drop it in the comments if it's something that you want for other people. And, and if there's enough people that want the same reading, then of course I'll do it. Okay. So let me tune back into Rush. So his past life karma. Okay. His karma that he had in this last lifetime, that he brought in this last lifetime. The one that he just exited. Interesting. Yeah, this makes sense. Okay, so this next column will be how much did he resolve in this last lifetime? Yeah, that makes sense as well. Okay, the next column is how was his transition experience? Oh boy. It's this one. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he had a rough time. Wow. Okay, so fifth column here will be for what was he shown in his life review after crossing over? What are two of the main things that, well, or we can get more than one thing out of one card, can't we? But it'll be two cards for what he was shown. Yeah, okay. Wow. The sixth column over here is how is his negotiation with his guides, like his spiritual counsel, which, we all have, no matter how dark we were, or he was, I should say. But how's his negotiation going with that counsel for his next lifetime? The planning for the next lifetime. Because, of course, well, I believe we get as many chances as we need to heal. Okay, and then lastly, what is his karma for his next lifetime? Whether or not, he's going along with the negotiation very well. What is that next karma that, yeah, okay. All right. So I'll talk you through the cards in case you can't see, because I have my camera up really high. I do have a little glare going on right here, so I'll stick a chopstick under it. Okay. All right, good enough. I think everything fits well. Okay, so with this, there's no theme in the middle. There's no forces in motion. There's no, I'm simply reading column by column. So don't pay any attention over here. Let's go here, because this is his past life karma. So, of course, with this Knight of Pentacles reversed, you can tell when it's straight up, it's the guy's not moving fast. He's not charging forward, even though all the knights are movement, but this is like earthly earth, or earthly, no, actually, be like more like earthly fire of earth, because there's movement, but this guy's not moving very quickly. Well, reversed, it's going nowhere, and it's going in the wrong direction. So his very, not his very last, not this lifetime karma, but before coming into this last incarnation, that tells me that he had extreme, well, he had a lot of baggage, and I would say financial baggage and, material baggage, everything of the material world. I'm really surprised that the devil card didn't show up here, based on his addictions. I mean, we know he was addicted to OxyContin, and and he smoked heavily for years and years, and always said that it didn't do anything, didn't affect anybody's health, and of course he was wrong about that. But this is also, like politically, when this guy's reversed, it's all about being very, very conservative, and also pretty idle, just like not going anywhere, right? Because you can see, I mean, even straight up, the card doesn't move very quickly compared to, like, let's say, in a short little tarot lesson. Here we go. Knight of Wands, that one's going quick, right? And we all know, the famous Knight of Swords. Well, let's look at the Knight of Cups. Yeah, he's not moving as quickly either, but he's a little more animated, because he's probably more gentle and sensitive, right? And then the Knight of Swords, that guy's just knucking futs, man. Right? I mean, you only want that guy if you need to get a message out really quickly, and he's your guy. But with this Knight of Pentacles here, my goodness, it shows a lack of sensitivity, a lack of imagination, a lack of thinking outside the box, and just absolute negligence. Like this guy, sometimes when the Knight of Pentacles is straight up, they're the guys that you would hire to be in an army for you, like be in the military, or to, in the darkest sense, they can be hitmen, hired assassins, hired mercenaries. It could be, like an Eric Prince card. And in the reversal here, you've got the negligence of even carrying out the mission, right? So he wasn't trusted in his last, in that incarnation. So, and, the other karma he brought in is grief and regret, and really challenging, it's that place where you're just looking at everything that fell apart, and you're not looking at what you have over here. And let me bring it up to the camera for a second. See the little bridge back here? What I love about this card is that there's the reminder of, turn around and look at what's down here. See what you already have, and go back home to, this is a bridge to like a whole new life if you can just get out of it, get out of this funky place you're in. And your home's over here. It's like, why are you not even home? What are you doing? So he brought that karma in. He brought in this karma of, I think just a lot of broken dreams and a lot of hopes. I mean, a lot of hopes that went the wrong way, and it feels to me like as a kid, for a few lifetimes at least, if not many, he never got his real needs met. He never had, I'm not letting him off the hook at all, but all children have, the real need to be loved and cared for, and to have, connection, and then to be seen and heard. But, based on what we've seen him do in this last lifetime, we can see that, he obviously didn't get his needs met. And so he had to prove it to the world that he was the big guy. And I read up on him a little bit, and I guess he was a very overweight child and had, tremendous self-esteem issues. So I guess he turned it all around and just bullied other people. And like one time, I'm not going to put anybody down for going through terrible, times when you gain weight. And but I guess he got up to like 300 pounds one time. So that's, that shows that there were some unmet real needs that were in play. So for this lifetime, the karma he brought in had to do with money. We've got money here, money, materialistic, so he came in with this karma of like always putting his hand out to create something new, but he was also, I think, maybe pretty foolish and pretty risky. It makes me wonder, because this is a new opportunity. So maybe in between his past lifetimes, because, we can spend, well, there's no such thing as time in the spirit world, but there's no space-time continuum. But we can spend, who knows how long there in order to try and heal a piece of soul substance that, well, sometimes you bring it right back in, and then other times you spend a lot of time in the spirit world, like if you were to measure it in, earthly years, trying to heal something. So this looks like he did heal something in between, because this is pretty much a fresh new start, but it's also new challenges. And it's also, like not planning. So maybe he didn't do well negotiating with his guides and his council before incarnating from this lifetime to this one, and they just said, "Okay, dude, you're going to have to go through what you have to go through, but you're kind of on your own." Makes me wonder, because normally, normally this Ace of Pentacles is something that's a good financial. At least the opportunity and the ability is there. He did come. I think he did come into a family where there was, good opportunity. I mean, of course, he abused it. He was so racist. My goodness, he was so racist and so misogynistic, and he bashed feminism constantly. He called feminist feminazis. I mean, so anyway, so that's this last lifetime. That's his karma. This column here is the column about how much did he resolve. So from at least this last lifetime and prior back. So we can see he was going in the wrong direction, probably didn't do his grief work, and was just focused on making money. And what did he resolve? It doesn't look like much, because this is the card of victim consciousness. This is the card of victimizing yourself, It's very restricted. So he didn't resolve much at all. This is even a card of, like bondage. So, we don't have the devil card here, but we know that he was definitely, I mean, if you can just think about all those years he was addicted to OxyContin, and he tried to blame it on, back surgery that went bad. But for who knows how many years, I mean, he even got busted for having, I don't know, I forget how many different prescriptions. But he had like he'd gone through something like 2,000 pills within a couple of months or something. So, but just imagine, he was totally loaded the whole time he was on camera. Or not camera, on the radio, on air. Jeez. And just spewing, bigotry and hatred. So that's what he did, is he put himself in this position of, we're the white minority and, we've got to fight. Well, what an idiot. I mean, what an idiot. So he didn't resolve much. And with the Chariot reversed, my goodness. I mean, because this one has you being afraid of moving forward. This one has you going in the wrong direction. This card is as a card of, both of these going nowhere. He had a new opportunity, but he still went nowhere. He still just went into his mind and made himself the victim and everyone else, responsible for his happiness. And this is also a card of illness too. So we're talking, I think, mental illness along with his addictions that he had. I mean, my goodness, it's obvious he had a food addiction. It's obvious he drank a lot. It's obvious that he smoked a lot. And then he had the OxyContin. And I guess he went through rehab, but I don't know if it worked. Maybe he just got better at hiding it, right? Because if he hadn't used all the illegal prescriptions, he wouldn't have gotten caught in the first place. So, but this is all about, as far as how much did he resolve in his past life, this last one and prior to, I would say nothing, because there was no decision. There was this bondage and illness and this fear of moving forward. And then with, with the Chariot reversed, my goodness. I mean, that's intense. Because this is another card of ill health. This is often, let me bring it up. If you look at the symbols, I love the symbols with the tarot, especially with the Rider-Waite. This is the card, see the wings, and this is a card about being centered and being healthy. It's often, like the card of the ambulance is coming, or the firefighters are coming. It moves quickly and it's victory and it's somebody to come and help. Well, to restore balance. Well, not with this guy. He didn't resolve anything. What little bit of, like, if you could say that he had any type of victory, well, it went in the wrong direction. It was very unethical. So there's that. Let's see if I can fill into anything else. Yeah, I guess because he victimized himself, then he would rebel. This can be a rebellious card as well. And he rebelled by going in the wrong direction. Like, oh, I'll show you. I'll just do whatever I want. And he did. I mean, he was arrogant to all get out. This is a card of, not really having any direction in life and being very unstable. And I think he gave up. I think this card shows that he gave up. Now, this column here is really interesting. This is the column for his transition experience. And with the Judgment reversed, holy moly. I mean, wow. So, in his transition experience, he was really doubting and regretting and feeling really down, and wasn't trusting to go with the light either. This tells me he really, really fought the light. And he probably kept feeling like, I don't know if this is the right way to go. The light's there, it's calling me. Or maybe he couldn't find the light. That would make sense. Sheesh. It can sometimes be, well, it's delusion. It's not knowing. I mean, look at these medical signs on both of these cards. Yeah. This is a card of being really afraid of death, being really afraid of crossing over. Major weakness, because he didn't really believe, even though everything he ever said. I mean, he got the what do you call, the Medal of Freedom from Trump. It's supposed to be a really good guy if you get that, right? Well, not with Trump. And everything he ever said on the news on his, a lot of times, I never listened to him, but there were a few times I got caught with somebody, or not caught, it was like years ago when I used to do personal training. I showed up to this lady's house for our first session, and she had Rush Limbaugh on the radio. And I told her, you have to turn that off or I'm leaving. We're not working. I can't work with that going on in the background. But the few words I got caught, like stuck in my head, was him going on about, God. I mean, he was talking about God like he knew God. Well, apparently that was a lie when it came right down to it. When it came down to it, he couldn't surrender his spirit into the hands of the love, the forces of love in the universe, if you want to call it, because that's what I call God. But he couldn't surrender to that universal intelligence. He fought it. And then he wanted to go back. With this Six of Cups reversed, I think he wanted to go back. Like, no, don't make me go. I think that that's pretty much what was coming out. He was like stuck in the past, and I think his feelings, all of his childhood hurts and pains were probably all coming up, and he couldn't really go back or go forward. So I think it took him a while to cross over, if he even has. Maybe he's still fighting it. Maybe he hasn't crossed over yet. So if he hasn't, then these next three columns are kind of a little bit in the future, but then again in the spirit world, like I said, there's no such thing as time. So this column here, for the fifth column, it's what was he shown in his life review after crossing over. So with the Eight of Pentacles, I think he was shown I honestly think that he was shown that he worked in the wrong way, that he worked for the wrong, he had the wrong ambitions. This is a card about very, very unskilled ways of working, and very, very like lazy, ineffective. It's also just working in the wrong direction. A lot of work. Like, I mean, he got up every day, but then again, that's probably what he liked doing. Yeah, I'm sure he was caught up in all that negativity, and he got off on it in that place where he just got on air and talked crap about everybody, right? I mean, that's what he did. And it was pretty mediocre, It was just like a dead end type of a thing going on. So I think he's shown that how he did that. Maybe he was shown with all the hatred spewing out of his mouth. Maybe he was shown everything that he did while he, talked crap on air. Wow. And he was also shown with the High Priestess reversed. He would have been shown how much his, all of this spewing had this like hidden agenda. And of course it was his own self-hatred. And he was also shown all the people that he betrayed. He was also shown all the secrets that he tried to hold in. And he was also shown, his own self-doubt. So that's interesting. Wow. Let me see if I can get a feel for what else that could be. Especially with this combination here. Yeah, it just feels like he was working under this hidden agenda. And what he really needed to face was his childhood wounding. And he never did. This is, his life is a reflection of ignorance in action. Just going, talking, not being kind. Only people he was kind to were probably Trump, because he liked golfing on his courses, I mean, he lived in Palm Beach with Trump, and you could bet he was one of his Mar-a-Lago members, and gross. But it's just this, I think he might have been shown, because the High Priestess is a card of vision, going inside and finding your own intuition and your higher self, connecting with your higher self. So I think he was shown how he never did that. And that's why he just was constantly working in the wrong direction. So, because when the High Priestess is reversed, this can show a person who's really unstable, emotionally, because it's ruled by the moon. The moon's here and here. And so on an ego level, he was just all over the place. I think he was spewing hatred from his emotionally reactive, soul, his wounding, his hatred. It's his own hatred, but all hatred is really it's just a reflection of self-hatred. So, yeah, but also his hypocrisy. And how, like I was saying before, like what a narrow vision he had, because, she's all about, the High Priestess is all about vision. So reversed, it's like it was very narrowed and brought in, and he didn't, he didn't see the big picture at all. And that's further reiterated here. Okay, so the 6th column I designated for how is his negotiation with his guides, and that council, for how's it going for his next lifetime? Like, how's it going? Well, yikes, with the Page of Wands reversed, I think he's getting a lot of bad news. They're telling him, dude, your life force went in the wrong direction, wrong direction, wrong direction. And you had every opportunity, here you are with all the opportunity, but no, you didn't do it. Oh my goodness. And I think that I think he's fighting with them. I think he's feeling very pessimistic and fighting with them. My goodness. Can you imagine crossing over and then fighting with your own guides? Like, what? When you're out of a physical body and you don't need to, and after you've been through your life review, I mean, my goodness. This card reverse can be sometimes just very, very domineering, because we're talking wands, it's there can just be a lot of passion in going in the wrong direction. So I think he's trying to, he might be trying to negotiate his next life as a woman, or domineering for a very, very, very nurturing and caring mother. I don't think that he believes he can get that from a man. I think his relationship with his father was terrible, but maybe it was with his mother, and maybe he's asking for someone like her again, or maybe he is asking for her. Wow. So he's trying to hang in there and be the one in charge and say, no, I want this for my next lifetime. And, maybe he gets some of what he wants, but you still have, your karma to work through no matter what. Wow. He lost his hearing, and that can be from, the drug use. In this lifetime, so you can imagine, like maybe in his next lifetime he won't be able to speak very well, because he definitely has misused the speech, the power of speech, of speaking up, and the power of the word. Wow. Trying to feel in, is there anything more here? Yeah, no, he's negotiating for money, for opulence, for luxury, for sitting in the lap of luxury, being with a very nurturing woman at least, or to be nurtured in luxury. If it's not a woman, if it's not his mom, he wants to be born into a wealthy family. He's trying to negotiate for that. Wow. Wow. That's all he's thinking about, huh? But that's how it is with each incarnation. We move forth from the level of consciousness that we left off from the last lifetime, and in whatever karma we created in each, in the last lifetime, we've got to deal with that as well. So you can't move to another level of consciousness without healing the last one. So if he went out thinking that money is love, money is power, he was, sorely mistaken, severely wrong. But I could see why he would be wanting it, though, and demanding. That's what this is. It's not so much domineering, but I think he was domineering with women because, he was married 4 times. They didn't stick around long. I think the first one was 10 years, and then, yeah, I don't know. But, yeah, I think he's demanding to have this, he's demanding to be born into the lap of luxury is what this is. Okay. But what's his karma gonna be for his next lifetime? Well, he's going to be falling on his swords. He's not going to be doing well when it comes to being in that peaceful place. Because this is a card of, it didn't go well in the battle that you were just in. Maybe you didn't even make it. Maybe it's a lifetime where there's, boy, would that not be just, wouldn't it? If you just think about it. If you're born into a lifetime after what he's done in his next lifetime, would have him in the place where he's born into a place that created all the chaos and lack of peace. Again, a country that's warring, battling. He would deserve that because he created that. He didn't create anything in this lifetime. He didn't create anything peaceful, did he? I didn't listen to him, but I just never thought of him as a loving person or even kind. I think he was very cruel. And then we have the strength reversed. So there's his fear and his self-doubt and his weakness and not having a lot of strength or energy, and also no discipline because he wasn't able to tame the beast. You can see here that this card is all about taming the inner beast. And the way I read it, which is different, it's kind of weird, but I read it as being able to, I always go with that quote from Carl Jung, that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will control your life, or it will direct your life, something like that, and you will call it fate. So to me, this card is about being aware, making everything that's been unconscious aware, let it come up, about ourselves, let it come up into our consciousness so that we can work with it. Because when it's stuffed down, which is the way it is reversed, you can't work with it. He stuffed it down with drugs and, alcohol and food and anything else he could. Yeah, so his next lifetime, he's not going to have much strength physically, or probably not, spiritually or mentally either. His spirit won't be able to come through. Unless he stays in the spirit world for 1,000 years and does some healing there. But that's the deal, is we can heal faster here on Earth because it's dualistic, because everything's right in our face. In the spirit world, we can kind of coast along, in all the bliss. and it takes longer to work on, if all you're seeing is all this beauty around you and it's all bliss and love, why are you going to work on that problem that's back over there in the North 40 that needs to, like there's a big hole back there that needs to be filled before somebody falls in it? It would be the portal to your next lifetime. But you don't look at it because, these trees are beautiful, or I'm here in this casino, or whatever, because you create your own little realm in the spirit world. So, but his next lifetime, when he incarnates here on Earth, he's going to be met with this place where he can't rest. He can't rest. Because, if you just look at the image here, if you fall down on your own sword, well, how's that going to feel? Right? If you're up on the ceiling and you can't get back into your body, how's that going to feel? There wouldn't be any pleasure in that. Out-of-body experiences might be nice to go see something, but there's no pleasure out there, I don't think. I don't know. I never got into that. I always felt the keys to my freedom were in my body, not out of it. But, dream time's fun. So, anyway, his next lifetime doesn't look good to me at all. It's awful. This is, he might have to be more active, though. That's one thing. Because, this way, you're resting. There's rest, there's contemplation, there's meditation, there's prayer, there's, rejuvenation, renewing somehow. Other times it's going out on a gurney. Reversed, there's a lot of activity. Well, maybe because of all this past life karma of being kind of lazy and ineffective and inactive, maybe this next lifetime he's going to have to work really hard. And there's going to definitely be that self-doubt and lack of self-confidence, lack of, inner strength, not coming from the beauty of your inner will. Instead, he's going to have to work with his outer will a lot, especially combined with this, with the Chariot reversed. And it's, it's also that place of just not having much strength and living life in fear. The dude's going to be living his next life in fear. And, and he should, because I'm sure that he made a lot of people very afraid by all the things that he said on his radio show for years and years and years. I'm sure that a lot of them were afraid and appalled and disgusted. So, this is also a card when it's reversed, there's just a real lack of spirituality, a lack of being connected to, like I said, to your inner will, to your spiritual will. And then this combo here with the money thing. So he's, again, just like this lifetime that he came into where he wanted to focus on the money, so he got the opportunity, but it was a foolish game that he was playing. He didn't do well evolving through that. Maybe this lifetime, he made it by making money. But we have to remember in this column here, after, he's shown in his life review, after crossing over, he's shown that wasn't the right way to go. That doesn't get you love. That doesn't keep you connected to your intuition. That doesn't help, connect you to your spirit. It's just it's a narrow, a very, very narrow vision of what life can be. So he was very limited, and now in his next life, he's going to have to go through some more of that. Yeah, wow. This also, because this card, Strength card, is ruled by Leo and the Sun, and it's very, very powerful. So reversed, he could abuse his power and he could be abused by other powerful, so-called powerful people. And but there's just still going to be, I think, this focus on having what he thinks is power, which is not true power, but it's he thinks that money is power. So interesting. I guess the important takeaway here, none of this surprises me at all. Actually, this doesn't either, but this important takeaway is that he's really fought, you know, going through the gates and, you know, getting to the light. Or he may still be fighting it. He may still be stuck. Let me ask quickly. Let me just use this little Lenormand deck, or Lenormand deck. Is he still crossing over? Has he? And today is what? What is today? I think it's the 19th. Yeah, it's February 19th, and I think he left his body on the 17th. So let's see. Has he crossed over yet? Or is he still fighting it? Has he made it through? Yeah, he crossed over. That's a yes. So, but it doesn't look like it went well. Okay, well that's all I have on this dude. Thanks you guys. Take care. Hope you're having a good weekend. Bye.